Hello everyone, welcome back to another GMME video. Today we're going to be going through how to expand brackets. So it sounds very nerdy, but this is actually one of my favourite topics. It does lead into quite a lot of important things later on, like quadratic equations and all that stuff. So as a quick recap, what to watch before. I think the number 9 indices video is very useful. I think you should watch that in general as it applies to all of algebra. It's very handy to know. So we're going to be assuming that you know all of the rules from that. And moving on today with the content, so we're going to be going through what actually is it, why do we do it, how to do it on single brackets, double brackets, and then finally triple brackets. It's all basically the same thing and the same steps throughout. So what actually is expanding a bracket? It's turning that 3 on the outside and putting it onto the inside basically. So you times in the 3 by everything inside. So as you can see there, 3 times x, 3 times 4, it gives you 3x plus 12. Why do we actually expand brackets? It's for mainly 4 things that I can think of. It's to simplify them, to multiply them, to solve them, and to understand what they actually mean. You'll understand what I mean by that later on, probably towards the end of the algebra topic, as it does get very useful. So how to do single brackets, the steps I like to follow, I multiply outside with everything inside, and I do it one at a time. So if we take this one here like we did before, the steps for turning this, expanding this single bracket, is you times the 3 by the x, which gives you 3x, and then you times the 3 by the 4, which gives you 12. And that's it for single brackets. You can apply that to any other one. Moving on to double brackets now. There is a method, and I don't directly follow it. You'll see what I mean by my method is the same thing, but just I never remember it. So the real method that you'll see in your textbook is called FOIL. So it's first, outside, inside, and last. But I prefer to use my arrow method, as it's basically the same thing. So you're doing first is A times by C, outside is A times by D, inside is B times by C, and last is B times by D. And you'll know what I mean by it's exactly the same thing. So if we use my arrow method and we use the same initials or letters there, sorry, I usually go first one on the A to C, then I do A to D, so that's done. And then I move to the next letter along, which is B, and I times that by everything, so B to C, and then B to D. So it's kind of called, like, I think it's called like a crab claw method or something like that. Teachers don't like it. I remember they told me not to use it, but it's what got me through my GCSEs. So it's up to you which method you decide to use. So we'll use a double example now. I'm going to be using my method. So start with a 2x, let's times that by x. And that's the f. So 2x times by x gives you 2x squared. Now let's do 2x times by 4. So 2x times by 4 gives you 8x. Now let's move over to minus 3. Minus 3 times by x gives you minus 3x. And then finally minus 3 times by 4, which gives you minus 12. Putting them all together, writing them all out, you get 2x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 12. Now, if you watch my previous video, you now know how to collect like terms, which, when you do that, you get 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Triple brackets, they're basically exactly the same thing, but what I like to do is I like to expand the first two first, and then continue with the third. So the third bracket I've highlighted in orange. I'm just going to ignore that for now and come back to it later. So let's expand these blue ones. X plus 1 times by x plus 2. So if I do x by x, and then x by 2, and then 1 by x, and then 1 by 2, I end up with x squared plus 3x plus 2. If we now put that next to the original x plus 3 that was in orange that I kind of got rid of, so I'm bringing that back, continue with the third, let's do the same thing. This is why I don't like the FOIL method, by the way, as the arrows just seem more, to me it makes sense to me more. So let's times this through, so the first one by the first one, x squared by x gives you x cubed, x squared by 3 gives you 3x squared. Then let's move to the next one now. 3x times by x gives you another 3x squared. 3x times by 3 gives you 9x. Let's move to the next one. 2 times by x gives you 2x. And then finally, 2 times by 3 gives you 6. So again, collecting like terms, let's do that now. X squared and x squared, there we are in blue. X and x in black. And then the positive 6 we'll put in red. Collect like terms, you end up with x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. So a bit of a recap today. Why do we do it? We do it to simplify, solve, multiply and understand. For single brackets, you just multiply the outside and you do it by the inside one at a time. For double brackets, you can use the FOIL method or the crab method, like the arrow method. And for triple brackets, you basically use the double bracket method and then continue with the last third bracket. Thank you for watching. This will come in handy later on in the algebra videos and it'll make more sense of why it's so useful. So thank you for watching. If you want more examples on how to expand brackets, please check out the Q&A videos and leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.